Proofreading. Not everyone loves it, especially when you're doing it for the 5th time on the same book. But while employing a professional to do your proofreading for you is always the best option, the reality is that if you're short on time or money, or just feel like you need the practice, doing your proofreading yourself could be a good place to start. To help you come out on top with your efforts and avoid some common pitfalls, we have a few precision-boosting proofreading techniques for you to try when evaluating your work. Hi, Jaycie here at AutoCrit. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Today we're talking about proofreading, and one of the biggest problems you'll face when proofreading your own novels is that of a simple familiarity. Nobody knows our stories as well as we do, so it's incredibly easy for us to accidentally skip over mistakes by reading what we thought we wrote rather than what's actually on the page. So what we really need to do is make the familiar unfamiliar. Let's take a look at the 6 top tips to help you do that. So you've typed the final period in the very last paragraph of your work, and the temptation is strong to rush right back to the beginning and start editing. Alternatively, you might want to throw the manuscript in a drawer and never look at it again, but let's not think about that right now. In either case, it's always a good idea to let the work breathe before you begin proofreading. Allow the writing palette a little time to cleanse without letting so much time pass that you forget about the work entirely. A week or 2 is a good bet, with a little more or less depending on the length or complexity of the work. Some people like to do a proofreading pass before the first major edit, and then follow up later with another round. Others will leave proofreading to the side until the manuscript is in its final draft. It's entirely up to you. Just remember to let it breathe each time, but don't lose interest. One of the easiest ways to catch weird words, misspellings, or inadvertent tongue twisters is by reading aloud when you start proofreading. Try acting as though you're recording an official audiobook edition of your novel, and not only will you pick up on more typos and technical mistakes, but you'll also catch stretches where the prose just doesn't flow correctly, or doesn't deliver the emotion or excitement for which you were aiming. And if you go as far as recording your verbal narration, you can double up your efforts. That's because our next tip is reading out loud when you're proofreading is good, but getting a friend to do it is even better. You can even do it online this way if you have a handful of digital friends who don't mind hopping on Skype for regular reading sessions. There are, however, many free text-to-speech services out there, either software or web-based, which sound very human and can step in to help with proofreading. Technology has the benefit of being unable to skim read, so mistakes will sound out loud and clear. If you'd rather not use a friend or text-to-speech, then take your own recordings and listen to them. Going from proofreading to proof listening switches you from an active problem-hunting mindset to being a passive consumer of your own work, in as much as that's possible. This can bring up some true revelations and additional creative ideas during the proofreading process that you might not get otherwise. See, proofreading isn't just about finding typos and extraneous words, it can also help highlight the need for additional story tweaks beyond the edit. Alright, next tip. Swapping out your Times New Roman for a fresh Georgia look will force your brain to read the text in a new light. This way, you're more likely to pay attention and avoid involuntary skimming while you're proofreading. And you can always change it back when you're finished. Sticking with the same style of printout or on-screen settings from start to finish for each of your proofing passes only helps the curse of familiarity. You're much more likely to unconsciously take shortcuts through the text as your brain fills in the blanks of what it knows or expects to be there, even if it's wrong. Dramatically switching the visuals knocks you out of that state, almost as if you were encountering the words for the first time. If you can't find a font you're comfortable with, try changing the background color of your screen or the size of the text instead for a similar helpful impact. If you have a Kindle, Nook, or other e-reader, your gadget will generally allow you to transfer files from your computer. So why not load up your manuscript and get down to some on-the-move proofreading? Kindles have their own fonts, allow various text sizes, and offer other formatting quirks, so you can make your work look radically different and knock yourself out of that familiarity funk. Plus, if your story is destined for digital self-publishing, you could get a whole new perspective on the reading experience by seeing your book as others will. At the end of the day, this is all about making sure your book is a product that delivers for the end user, and that means proofreading digitally is an absolute must. Check out a program called Caliber for an excellent method of manually loading content onto your reader. We'll leave a link for you in the description below this video. According to professional proofreaders, this is a tried and true method of making your brain think differently about the text. Don't read every word in reverse order, just every sentence or paragraph. By turning the content on its head, you're isolating each portion of the writing and interrupting your sense of what should come next. As you'd expect, the result is that you spot mistakes more easily. And that's it for our series of top proofreading tips. Do you have any others to share? Leave them in the comments below. If you found this useful, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. There are plenty more writing tips and insights to come, and don't forget to check out the links in the description below for a whole bunch of free goodies from AutoCrit. From all of us here, thanks for watching.